back. Now, the high rate of unemployment continues to be quite a major concern. The unemployment rate sits at 32%. But listen to this. Abaguquli4IR is fighting unemployment through its digital entrepreneurship program, and the organization has helped 600 people in disadvantaged communities to find jobs. I'm now joined by founder Aasiyah Adams to tell us more about this. And Aasiyah, a very warm good morning to you and happy Heritage Day to you. And thank you so much for joining us. I mean, we have to talk about, unemployment, I suppose, as just to have some context and also just as a way in which it informs why you came up with this initiative to help around 600 people. So let's talk about it and why that 32% data and stat is quite worrisome for the country.
Hi, good morning, and thanks for having me, eNCA. Thanks for having me on your show. It's an absolute honor. Yeah, I think that's the basis of why we started Abaguquli, because I felt like everyone was trying to say, well, whenever you go somewhere, people are like, you know what the problem is? The country needs skills. And I'm like, that might be part of the problem, but there's a high unemployment with graduates. So somewhere there's a mismatch, either with skills or what we're not expanding enough or scaling enough to give young people work opportunities. And that's Abaguquli basically sits in the gig economy, and we've always trained so that the young people can actually earn an income. That was from the get-go. The team knows that, we know that, that's the objective. So whatever you train, can they possibly do work, across the globe? Can they possibly do work within their own homes? And can they diversify their income? And that's how Abaguquli started. And I think, yes, there is a high unemployment, but I feel like we haven't been creative and innovative enough to look for other ways that has been around since forever to help anyone, young people, people that are currently unemployed, to get some income.
But also I understand that besides, assisting these young people, Aasiyah, with getting an income is also a skills gap and shortage that you're trying to fill in here. Take me through this, particularly with the booming gig economy that's upon us, and how you try and particularly, bridge this gap.
Yeah, so I think everyone's been saying 4IR, 4IR, and we started off with a drone school. So we've got 4 drone schools across South Africa, and it was exciting. And I'm like, but it has to be somewhere where they go. So we do drone and agriculture, drone and videography, but there are other skills within 4IR. And if you look at in my case, my parents, when they had the Industrial Revolution and there was a huge depression globally because people weren't prepared, what we're trying to do is make it inclusive so that everyone, is prepared for 4IR, and to debunk the myths of 4IR. When we have our robot humanoid that we designed, and then the young people will ask us, well, are they going to kill us? And I said, probably your phone more than the robot. But we look at artificial intelligence, software engineering, we look at cybersecurity, data science practitioner, as well as drone in everything, because those are the skills that's going to be needed for the future. And I have a 13-year-old son, and if I look at him, just gaming and development, that's, a serious skill that we seem to be overlooking for some reason. I'm not sure why.
Yeah. And also, it seems like we're still playing catch-up to the rest of the world. I mean, we see where other countries are right now. South Africa still has a long way to go. So definitely a gap that needs to be bridged, and quite urgently. Equally important for you, I understand, Aasiyah's entrepreneurship, not just skills development or only just a job placement. Let's talk about entrepreneurship here and how important these skills are for young people.
Yeah, so entrepreneurship, being an entrepreneur myself, I just felt that every program I've been on, and I love to learn, because you learn more from other people than what you actually learn from the program. But it's the same thing, it's the same training, how to do tax, how to do this. And I thought, I feel like the transition from an employee to an entrepreneur, we like being busy. So we like, to always keep busy because of the guilt, must work a 9 to 5, but we're not really finishing any of our work. So what the team put together was digital entrepreneurship, where you use digital apps, tools, you learn the skills, knowledge, and then that helps you to run your business. So that takes away all the admin intensive stuff, but also reach a broader audience. That's one side to SMME. The other side is that I felt like informal traders should just be digitized, just one aspect of the business. It doesn't have to be that big. So an example, a plumber, if you teach him how to use invoicing on his phone on an app, besides him going home and first settling in and all of that, while he's at the clients, immediately he can send it. So he doesn't lose money, cuts his money. And that's just a few ways that I feel like these are all huge possible contributors to our economy, and that we're overlooking because we're not giving them the skills that they possibly can use. We're giving them too many things that they, it'll become so admin intensive that they won't really do anything to their business.
Yeah. Aasiyah, I need you to boast a bit here about some of the young people that you have interacted with, even through the digital entrepreneurship program, because I understand you boast 100% graduation rate. This also shows how committed these young people are and how hungry they are for opportunity.
Absolutely. I just want to add one thing. I do a lot of, and this is not to like try and tell people what I do. I do a lot of community work. I'm a volunteer at a few orphanages. I do a lot. The time that I really felt so sad, I mean, I was so heartbroken, I just broke down, was when I found out how many graduates are unemployed that wanted to join our program, but they're taking alternative options. So they'll do admin work, Uber work, and you're like, this person has a PhD, this person is a doctor. I think that's the point where I felt like we got to do more. So yes, we have 100% graduation or graduates, and that's because we choose our learners really well, when we do the recruitment process, but also I feel like our programs are trendy, it's fast, it's applicable, it's hands-on, and so it's not that long that people feel like this is really not relevant, I'm busy with other stuff, and they can apply it while they do it, they can apply it within their business. It's not too overwhelming, so we've always had 100% pass rate. We've always had good cases coming out, and one of them is when we did the gig work for kids that haven't finished school. So we did chatbot development, mobile app development, digital marketing, and they were earning 1,800 Rand on a stipend over 4 months per month, and now they're earning between 15 to 30,000 Rand per month in the gig economy. I think this is real stats and facts, and I feel like we need more real facts. I had this conversation with someone and I said, how many of the incubators can you prove has made an impact on our economy? We're always looking at everything around us, but there are so many incubators. How many of them can you say has made a very big impact on our economy? Because that would interest me.
Yeah. And also, I mean, in as much as there are strides being made, Aasiyah, it's fair to say that more can still be done, right? When we think about some communities, particularly rural communities that still experience the digital divide, so much more still needs to be done to be more inclusive, to be digitally inclusive. How would you advise, particularly even government, to go about supporting initiatives like this, NGOs, incubators, as you've mentioned, as well as, any interested parties really in supporting these young people, giving them skills, placing them in jobs, offering them entrepreneurship skill, but also ensuring that they are included where digital technology is concerned?
I think we talk too much. Sorry. We talk too much and we do too little. There's always so much bureaucracy. We also created little silos and little cults. I call 4IR people cults, because I sit on these panels and I'm like, we are the real people. We are the real community leaders that you're not including. It's very easy to help a community. You go into community, you speak to the community leader, speak to the church leader, and they will bring everyone together. You don't even have to do a lot of things. One of the initiatives, and I probably won't have all the answers, I'm just an action person and I want to see results. I don't want to talk. Once we've planned it and we've consulted, then it needs to go, not another consultation, but one of the very exciting things that we're doing is a very reputable, and we haven't signed the papers, so I can't really speak, very reputable university, and we're going to have the launch where we've partnered with them. And my request to them was, take your students in engineering and artificial intelligence and create apps for informal traders. So they've got to find out what the traders need. They've got to find out what's going to help them. How do they read a broader market reach? And the Spinach King is always my example, my go-to person, where, where he was seen. And that's what we need to do with informal traders. And so that's what we're signing now. So we're going to get them to build the apps for the community and digitize just one aspect of the business, or one digital app for all of them that I feel is going to be more applicable for an informal trader.
Sounds exciting, and we can't wait for when you're ready to speak about it. Aasiyah, hopefully you can come back to us and share more details once the ink has dried on the paper. But thank you so much, Aasiyah Adams, founder of Abaguquli4IR, for joining us right here on the South African Morning.